Hey, I'm Max, and recently my channel has been growing really fast, so thank you to all the viewers and subscribers. I just hit 500 subscribers, that's really huge, thank you. I got a comment from one of my subscribers challenging me to make a territory game where you have to invade other countries to win. I had never done a game like that before and I had no idea if I could do it, but I thought, why not try? Feel free to leave other challenges in the comments and I might try them in a future video. Let's start this challenge. The first thing I did was to load a pixelated map of the world into Unity. I already knew that I would have to set pixels on the texture to show the territories, so I tested out the Unity features by setting random pixels on the texture. It worked fine, so then I made the pixels change where I clicked. At this point I thought the rest would be easy, but I didn't know the challenges I was about to face. I started working on the invasion feature where you expand your territory by claiming empty space. I thought that was so easy, so let's just add bot enemies that do the same thing and then add the invasion of other territories and it's done. But wait a minute, this is so laggy. And this was the main problem I faced during this whole challenge, it was the lag. Of course it was laggy because every time I was expanding a territory I checked every pixel in it to find the edges and then I grew it by one and then the next frame I checked again every pixel. So that was extremely laggy and the more enemies I added and the bigger the territories got, the worse it was. So then I changed the code instead to keep track of the edges in the list so I don't have to recheck all of the pixels to find the edges. I keep them saved and every time I move the territory I update the edges. This sped up everything and also made it so it didn't get more laggy the bigger the territories were. So then I started working on invading other territories. I also had to implement the power system to be able to determine who would win during an invasion. So basically taking one pixel of empty space gives you one power, taking one pixel from another territory takes away one power from them and you, and whichever territory reaches 0 first loses and the rest of its territory becomes empty space. So basically when you attack another territory, if you have more power, you win. I tried it with multiple enemies and well, the idea was working, but a lot of things were wrong. And also it started getting really laggy with more enemies. I added a text over the territories showing who owned it and how much power they had. I also removed the lag caused by multiple enemies. The lag was caused because each enemy had a list of his pixels and refreshed the map every time it changed. So the more enemies, the more list, and the more refreshes, so the more lag. Instead, I kept one list with all of the pixels on the map and who owned them in my map script and only refreshed 10 times per second. So now, no matter how many enemies there are, it's the same amount of list and the same amount of refreshes. Now everything is smooth like butter and the text make it easy to tell who you can defeat or not. I tried with even more enemies and also made it so your power increased every second based on the amount of pixels you own. So now if you stop attacking, your power goes up so then you can maybe attack greater territories if they don't stop attacking themselves. The game was finally playable. I made my enemy AI randomly attack with no strategy, thinking this would make it very easy for the player like me to win every time. But even though the AI used no strategy at all, I still managed to lose most of my games. But by now there were no ways to invade other continents or islands. So I tried letting territories send attacks by boats. But wait, that doesn't seem quite right. Okay, now I got the boat working fine, but the invasion part not so well. I simply had to make the boat work based on the coordinates rather than the target, and that was fixed. I also made it so when enemies had no target in land range, they would randomly launch boat attacks. Obviously, in this video I skipped over a lot of technical details, like when a pixel is removed, if it was in the list of pixels that form the edge of the territory, then get all of the other pixels around it in a 1x1 square, and then set them to be the new edge and things like that. Because I thought it wouldn't be very interesting to most people. So because of that, when you watch this video it seems very easy, but I actually scratched my head a few times trying to make this game. I'm lucky I got a couple good ideas in the showers. I think the game turned out quite fine. I could spend some time to polish it and maybe add more features, but there's already a few great games that exist in this genre, and I'm not really interested in trying to compete with them. There's no point for me to spend weeks trying to make a worse version of an existing game. I think I passed the challenge made by my subscriber. What do you think?